The asylum loomed, dark, imposing, a monument to forgotten suffering. It sat atop a hill overlooking the town. Windows like vacant eyes stared out. They seemed to watch, always watching. No one dared go near, not anymore. The wind howled through the broken windows, a mournful sound like screams trapped within. The iron gates, rusted and broken, creaked ominously, a warning to stay away, but some warnings are meant to be ignored. John, young and reckless, stood at the bottom of the hill. He and his friends, emboldened by youthful bravado, dared each other to enter. The asylum was local legend. Stories of its horrors passed from generation to generation. To spend a night within its walls was a test of courage. John felt a chill run down his spine as he looked up. The asylum seemed to beckon him. His friends' laughter grated on his nerves. He wouldn't be the scared one, not tonight. He took a deep breath and walked towards the gates. His heart pounded in his chest. He didn't look back. The air inside was heavy, thick with dust and decay. The smell hit John first, stale, metallic, the lingering scent of sickness and fear. He shone his flashlight around the room. Restraints lay discarded on a rusting table. Shadows danced in the corners, cast by his flickering light. A noise, a soft thud from somewhere deeper in the building. John froze, listening. His heart pounded in his ears. Another sound, a whisper, close to his ear. He spun around, but there was nothing there. He was alone, or so he thought. He stumbled through the abandoned rooms, each one more disturbing than the last. He found a room at the end of a hallway, different from the others. This one had a desk still standing, and on it a book, a diary. Its leather cover was cracked and faded. He opened it. The brittle pages crackled. The diary belonged to a doctor, the asylum's last physician. The doctor wrote of strange experiments, of patients driven mad by unseen forces, of whispers that haunted the halls at night, whispers only he could hear. John felt a cold dread creep into his heart. These whispers he had heard, were they the doctor's? He slammed the book shut. He had to get out. Now he turned to leave, but the door was gone. In its place, a wall of solid brick. He was trapped. Panic welled up inside him. He banged on the wall, screaming, but his cries were swallowed by the oppressive silence. Then he saw it. At the end of the hallway, a figure, shrouded in shadow, but he could see its eyes, burning with an eerie, cold light. It moved towards him, slowly, deliberately. John sank to the floor, his back against the wall. He squeezed his eyes shut. He couldn't look. He didn't want to see. The figure was almost upon him. He could feel its icy breath on his face. He opened his eyes. It was closer now. He could make out its features, gaunt, pale, twisted in a grotesque mockery of a smile. He scrambled back, desperate to get away. His hand found a loose brick in the wall. He pulled it free. He smashed the brick against the wall again and again, each blow fueled by terror. Finally, a hole appeared, large enough to squeeze through. He didn't hesitate. He scrambled through the opening, leaving the diary behind. He didn't look back. He ran, blindly, through the asylum's corridors. The halls seemed to twist and turn, leading him further and further in, but he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. Not until he was out. He burst out of the asylum and into the night. He collapsed on the ground, gasping for breath. He looked back at the asylum. It stood on the hill, silent and menacing. He had escaped, this time. But he knew deep down that a part of him would never truly leave. The asylum held on to him, and the whispers, he could still hear them, faintly, in the back of his mind. John never fully recovered from his experience. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, that the whispers were always there, just out of earshot, waiting. He tried to tell his friends what he'd seen, but they laughed. They didn't believe him, they thought he was crazy. He withdrew from the world, haunted by his memories. The asylum's grip was strong. It didn't let go easily. It held its secrets close, and the whispers, they grew louder. The asylum still stands, a testament to the darkness that lies at the heart of humanity. It is a place of sorrow, of fear, of whispers that never die. Some say that if you listen closely on a quiet night, you can still hear them, the whispers of the asylum's victims calling out, warning others to stay away. But some warnings are meant to be ignored, and so the cycle continues. The asylum waits, patient, hungry, ready to claim its next victim.